So we've got a gentleman here in Edwardsville that many of you probably know, Adam Davis. He's been a banker in town for a long time, but he also has another role. He's a board member on the Nature Preserve Foundation here in Edwardsville, and that takes care of the Watershed and a couple other parks that he's going to talk about. Just an all-around good guy. You're going to enjoy it. Adam Davis.
All right. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. Thanks for having me here as well, Jared. Thanks for the invitation. Been a while since I've stood up here in front of Rotary and spoke. Jared and I were talking beforehand. Probably 18 years or so ago, I accepted the Rotary Scholarship from the SIUE School of Business, and here I am now. Jared hired me at the bank probably 15 years ago. He's gone on and done bigger and better things I've stayed behind and continue to develop my career. But all is good. I'm with UC Bank. I'm a commercial banker, but in my spare time, I like to dedicate my time to the Nature Preserve Foundation. I'm currently the vice president there. And what I'd like to do today is just tell you a little bit about the organization, some of the things that we are working on, some of the initiatives, and then kind of go through a few other items here. So get started. Go. Who we are. So we are a completely all volunteer board. We have a couple different factions here. So we have a 14-member board, highly diverse group, some that are very well versed in nature topics, some that are not. I would probably put myself somewhere in the middle. I grew up as an outdoorsman. Enjoy being outdoors, but don't have the technical knowledge that goes along with all of the things that we support. But at the same time, we have some very, very smart folks on our board as well. We have a very deep board as well. We have 2-year cycles that we go through, and we recently implemented an advisory board that allows us to keep some of those folks involved and engaged without having to take up a bunch of their time. But we also, outside of that, we have a junior board that we recently installed as well. That is a group of high school students between Edwardsville and Triad. They've really helped our volunteer efforts and have brought us closer to that younger generation that we'd like to serve as well. As you can see here, our mission is to promote stewardship and sustainability via equitable access to nature, environmental education, and ecological restoration. Really key in on the education piece there, and just making sure that everybody has access to go outside, get away from the screens, get away from the devices, and enjoy the peace that comes with nature. Most people here are familiar with the Watershed in general. Like a show of hands who's been out there in the last 12 months or so. Okay, right? Anybody in here not familiar with the Watershed? Okay, so like I said, most people are familiar with the Watershed. It's a great, peaceful place. Well, the Nature Preserve Foundation exists to support the activities and program that goes on there at the Nature Center. That is the vital part of our mission, and truly why we exist. For our vision, we want healthy, nature-centric communities that enable greater diversity of life to survive and thrive, to benefit people and the environment. So really just trying to make sure, again, people have access to natural spaces, and make sure that everybody is able to enjoy that. The Watershed has a great, rich history and an interesting story. Many of you may be familiar with it. It all started with John and Kay Kendall back in 1991 when they had a vision to transform the abandoned sewage lagoon into a wetland and prairie nature preserve. It was a piece of ground that was just not desirable, smelly, right? And now you think about where we are 30-some years later. It's pretty incredible what all the work that's been done between this group, the city, and so many other partners as well. So that restoration work began in 1992, and then in 1995 we actually opened the Nature Preserve, the actual welcome center there, and that's what really sprung up those first field trips and educational efforts at the Watershed. Once that building was there, it gave classroom space, places for educational materials to be disseminated to everybody there. So it remains to be a great space. We continue to add different features on the property throughout the years, but the Nature Preserve Foundation continues to support that. 30 years ago, 1996, was the first Earth Day Festival. And that's, again, good timing as far as that goes. We are hosting our 30th annual Earth Day Festival this coming Saturday. We'll talk more about that as we move forward. But in 1996, that first festival was celebrated. We moved forward to 2019, and we introduced Wine and Whiskey for the Watershed, and that was launched as our signature fundraising event for the foundation. Up until that point, we had various different fundraising campaigns and different initiatives, but we quickly saw the benefit of this signature event, bringing together all of our partners that help support both individually from a business community standpoint. And now we've grown that into a really great event. We are going to host that again in November this year. We've got information on our website, which I'll make sure you have access to later. But if you've not been to Wine and Whiskey for the Watershed, it is a great event. We host a number of different restaurants in the area. They bring in heavy hors d'oeuvres, and then this last year we actually paired it with a wine that complements that specific dish. As the name would suggest, there are also probably hundreds of different wines and whiskeys that you can taste at the event, and it's just it's a very relaxed event. Again, if you've not been there, check it out. It's not your typical shakedown, if you will. You come and enjoy, have a fun time, and support the Nature Preserve Foundation and the Watershed. One of the most important events in our timeline really was in 2022 when we partnered with the city of Edwardsville with the actual property there on the Watershed. So the property is now managed and owned by the city of Edwardsville. They help us support all the different maintenance needs and staffing needs as far as that goes. And it's really allowed us to get back to our mission of trying to provide programming and education versus having to worry about, we've got to replace the roof on the facility, or we've got to re-rock a trail. We budget throughout the year to help support some of those needs, but it really does allow us to focus the vast majority of our fundraising efforts towards the education piece, which is where our heart is, and what we'll talk about here shortly. So appreciate the partnership with the city and everything that has led to. In 2024, we introduced Shed Talks, kind of a play on TED Talks, in an effort to connect with our adult groups. We've always had, again, that education piece geared towards third grade through say middle school with field trips and all the other activities, but we really were missing that connection with our adult groups, and this has done a great job. A lot of great programming things that are out there, and it's completely free to attend. So our full list of programs are on our website, and you can check that out as well. Some really interesting things that we were able to bring in experts in those respective fields to talk more to our folks about. The newest thing here is the community bike ride, which we are planning for our Earth Day Festival in 2026. Historically, Earth Day, we've done like a 5K run and always had great turnouts. Had folks that we had a pre-marked trail, everybody would go out and come back, and we had some vendors and some music and always a good time. This year we wanted to try change it up a little bit and do something that was a little more inclusive for our family groups and really take advantage of the assets that we have in the area as far as the bike trail networks. So we're actually going to we've planned a community bike ride that will start at Richards Woods, which is about a mile that way on the bike trail. It'll come through here, and we're doing a bike bus type layout whereby we're going to pick up another group of folks that would stage here at the complex, and then we'll have another group that will join us on the route at the nude statue, for the last leg of that ride. So we'll be leaving Richards Woods about 9:30. We'll be by here and back out to the watershed probably by 10 or 10 after 10 to start our festivities there at the watershed. So if you're not doing anything Saturday, hop on the bike, try out the bike trails and join us for that ride. So more to come on that though. As I said before, education really is the heartbeat of the Nature Reserve Foundation. We've had a great partnership with the district, District 7 in general. We've been able to basically have an employee share with them to where we have an employee that is employed by the district, basically does full-time subbing for the district, and then a couple of days a week would be on hand to run field trips and all the various education programming for the watershed. And that's worked great. We still have that in place. But in 2025, our main fundraising efforts went to bringing on a full-time educator that would allow us to keep the center open 3 days a week, do additional programming, run all sorts of different new activities for kids, and also expand our field trip operations too, to where we're not just serving District 7, but we're going outside to some of the underserved districts to make sure we're making Watershed accessible to them, which is in line with our mission. And we're also catering towards homeschool families as well. So we've seen a great increase in our attendance to those types of activities. And in 2025 alone, we had over 3,500 kids come through the watershed in one capacity or another through some of our educational events. These events included our Discovery Days, which usually has a theme to it, and our educator Vanessa does a great job of putting all the materials and the lesson plan together that is specific to this one theme, and then she's there on hand to set up, break down, complete the actual education event, and then talk to folks as well. The frog walks are fun. Everybody's been on the marsh walk on the concrete path. Frog walks, I think for a couple bucks, you're able to go out there, put on the boots, get in the marsh, walk in the mud, pick up a frog, understand the difference between the different species that are out there. This all happens at night by flashlight, so it's just a fun activity for the kids, and families really enjoy it as well. So we've done one of those this year, several more are planned. Spoke about field trips before. We continue to offer that, and then our summer camps we offer for 2 different age groups. I think it's K through 3, and I've got it in my notes, but I know that the younger group is actually sold out already, which is good. So it's ages 5 to 7 and 8 to 11, and we have 5 of those passes left for the 8 to 11-year-old group. So that would be June 8th to the 18th. And they're actually doing the theme this year is nature detectives. So they'll be out and about on the watershed, learning about all things nature preserve, all things watershed and nature. So it'll be fun. As far as the shed talks go, the folks in this room may be interested to hear about some of those different topics here, which I have on hand. And so the next one is actually coming up April 20th, which is raising backyard chickens. Okay, so that's one of the events coming up here. We've got log rolling, hidden world below, beekeeping, attracting and feeding backyard birds, also just general watersheds and waterways. So tons of different great opportunities for you to come out and enjoy. I know last year we had Scott Evers come out and do a session on nature photography. So great opportunities to come out, check out our website, see if there's any events that you would like to join in on, and they're completely free. And again, supported by the fundraising efforts that we do throughout the year. Last year, we added a new event, which was our pumpkin blow. Show of hands in the room, anybody attend the pumpkin blow last year? Okay, we had over 3,000 folks come out for the pumpkin blow and got out on the trails. We had over 400 pumpkins carved by the community. It was a huge undertaking by our board, but as soon as we heard about this idea from one of our members, we knew we had to do it because it was a great idea, and it took a lot of work, but I think it's going to be one that we continue to expand and offer for years to come. So we've got that scheduled again for this year, and I think the plan is to make it go all the way around this year. So
That is quite.
yeah, it was. I mean, we didn't know what to expect that first year, and we, people got all the way out there, and then it was a kind of a log jam coming back, but a lot of fun, a lot of work, but it took the whole community to do that too, because we had the pumpkins. Well, we purchased some of the pumpkins, but some of them were donated. Got them in weeks in advance. People signed up to come pick up the pumpkins, carve the pumpkins, bring them back. Our board members were out there placing the pumpkins, lighting the pumpkins, cleaning them up. I mean, it was a lot of work, and it paid off because we had a beautiful evening. It was a ton of fun. The kids enjoyed it, and it really gave us a platform to really think about how we wanted to do Earth Day as well this year, and really wanted to make it again family centric and use some of the resources that we have in town. So with the Earth Day celebration, we are actually partnering with the Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee here in town. They are co-hosting this with us. So again, we'll start our bike ride about a mile. I guess that would be east of here, and then we'll be traveling on the bike trail this way. We've got food trucks set up. We're gonna have native plants for sale. We also have free trees, so 350 trees, different varieties are gonna be there for you guys to pick up if you come hang out. We've got red oak, white oak, fir oak, and pecan trees in my garage currently, so they are ready to be picked up and given a good home. We're going to have people out there demonstrating how to plant them, how to care for them. And then we're also going to be talking about some of the other initiatives that we are supporting moving forward. Same individual is going to do the live music. Butch is going to be on hand again to do live music this year, so that'll be fun. Along with a ton of other activities and things once we get on the property. Talk a little bit about the future growth of Watershed and the Nature Reserve Foundation. We mentioned before our partnership with the city of Edwardsville. The city's done a great job, and I think this is what sets Edwardsville apart from surrounding communities. They look forward and they really try to proactively work on their green space. Nate Tingley's in the room. He's been a great partner for Nature Reserve Foundation. Him and his group do a great job of identifying these properties, acquiring the property, and then also helping to care for the property. So Richards Woods is a great example of that. Several acres just east of here where we're going to start the bike ride. It's a wooded area. Most of you kind of know where it's at, right across from Madison County Highway Department building there. It's very hilly, lots of larger trees. Right now we are working, Nate and his group are working to clear invasive. They've been doing that for some time. We'll continue to do that. And the idea there is to get out any non-native plants that are, otherwise choking the understory there, get that cleaned up, and then we would have kind of a blank slate to work with from a woodland perspective. The idea and what we're fundraising on for 2026 is to support the installation of a trailhead and potentially a bridge down the road to, again, grant access for everybody to go out into the woods and enjoy that. Because right now there's a stream that goes through there and there's really no a dedicated parking area for that facility. So Nate and his team have done a great job of bringing us in and helping. We worked with Heartlands Conservancy over the last several years on trying to put together a plan for the area to where it's going to be used in such a way that helps support that natural area without disturbing it too much. We want it to be the next watershed, if you will, to where people can go out and enjoy being in that habitat. So that's what we're fundraising on primarily this year. You also have Darda Woods. We're continuously working on invasive removal, bone woods again, reforesting areas. Again, we're not particularly doing a lot of the work. Nate and his team do a lot of that work, but we have dedicated resources over the next several years to help support that work and look forward to continuing to expand in that capacity. How you can get involved. We've got several committees that you may be interested in joining, and we're more than happy to take any volunteer efforts that we can. We have an education committee, event fundraising committee, restoration committee, policy, volunteer, and marketing committees that all meet on a regular basis. And then they report up through one of our board members to make sure that we're staying on task and making a difference. So restoration days, what is it, first Saturday, second Saturday of each month is what Nate currently has. So Tom Doyle used to be on staff with the Nature Preserve Foundation, now works for the city and does a lot of that invasive removal. They had restoration day, I think last Saturday, and they continue to work with the help of volunteers to get those invasives removed as well. So the other way you can help too is by supporting us financially. That QR code will take you to our donation page, along with our website that has all the different information about the foundation as well. So happy to take any questions. I'll stick around afterwards to talk to everybody. But really appreciative of the time you've given me today to talk about Nature Reserve and how we're supporting Watershed. Yes, sir.
Which 3 days are you open?
So it's a good question. Let's say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, over right. And then she's been there on weekends too. And we've been averaging between 15 and 30 folks through the center each of those days. So before, during the week you show up and doors are locked, nobody's there, and you really can't enjoy the center or any of the educational materials that are in there. But we've changed that and for the better. Yes, sir.
What's the, if you know, or maybe Nate knows, what are the plants or what are the trees that are most notoriously invasive?
It's a good question. Again, I'm not super skilled on that. So the question was, what are the plants or the trees that are most notoriously invasive? So bush honeysuckle is one of the biggest things. So it chokes everything out. Usually it's only about 8 to 10 feet tall, and it just spreads like wildfire. So a lot of what we've been doing has been getting that out. There's another one that Tom always, winter creeper, and then there was a garlic type of plant, right? Wasn't it? Garlic mustard's always a big one. So,
And those are not native to Illinois.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. I have it right here. 6 to 7:30, raising backyard chickens. That'll be at the Watershed. Which you can learn all about.
You can learn
6 to 7:30.
I think years ago, did the Rotary build a concrete dock down there at the Watershed? Some of us was on.
Probably, yeah.
And there's been so many community projects out there between the Boy Scout projects with the bridges and docks and decks and all sorts of stuff. It's been a great area for the community to come together and support. We're also looking at trying to redo or improve the amphitheater out there as well. It needs some repair. Some of the signs out there need repair, benches. So again, these are the types of things that we're interested in trying to help support.